What's up, guys? This is KC3 Takes here. We're back with another interview, probably the biggest one we've had on the channel yet. We have an NCAA Division I basketball player, SEC Sixth Man of the Year, Jontay Porter. Jontay, thank you for coming on the podcast. We really do appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, so since your time's pretty limited, we're going to get right into questions. Let's go back to last year. What made you choose to reclassify last year?
Mostly, the whole country knew my brother was probably going to be one and done just because he was the best player in the country. And that was the last opportunity I'd have to play with him. And then my dad was obviously coaching. And I felt like I'd get a lot better because my end goal is to play in the NBA. I felt like I'd get a lot better reclassifying and going back to Fulton in Columbia, Missouri and playing the little high schools. I just felt like I'd get better quicker at Mizzou.
Gotcha. Jackson, you got a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I know this year's been kind of a downer. You haven't been able to do a ton with the torn ACL, but since you arrived at Mizzou, what do you feel in your game has improved the most?
I'd say mostly just my confidence because when I reclassified, I guess I was pretty good in high school, but I had no idea if I'd be able to compete or not with college dudes. And then as the year progressed last year, I just got more and more comfortable, and I think my numbers kind of showed that too. And obviously, like you said, I haven't gotten to play this year, but I just feel like no matter who's on the court, I feel like I'm the best player now. So I guess just my confidence is the biggest thing that's changed since I got to Mizzou.
Jackson said the injury. Of course, we all know the torn ACL in the exposition game. How's that? How are you recovering from that injury?
It's been going great. At first, obviously, it sucked, but the sad phase kind of went pretty quickly. So, high spirits nowadays. I'm in Denver doing rehab with some of the guys that Michael's connected with just because they're the best of the best, and I'm trying to get back as soon as possible. So, out here in Denver, I'm loving it. I'm getting better every day, and I'm not really sure what the timetable's looking like, but I know I'm getting better, and that's all I can ask for.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, it's good to hear. All right, I have a question about last Mayish, June-ish. How difficult was it to decide whether to stay at Mizzou or try your talents in the NBA? Because it was a real tough decision. A lot of mocks had you in the first round.
Yeah, it was super tough. That's obviously any basketball player's dream is to play in the NBA, and for that to be right in front of me and to turn that down had to be one of the toughest things I've done concerning basketball my whole life. So I don't regret it at all. Even though I didn't get to play this year, I'm still happy I made that decision. It wasn't all about basketball. It was off the court stuff too, like really just investing in relationships and making sure I'm ready to take that next step as a man, because you're in a man's league in the NBA, learning how to manage your money, who to get close with, just stuff like that. I didn't feel like I was really ready for, but I feel like I've grown a lot in that area for sure.
All right. So last year, how you said you wanted to play with Mike, and we all know how that turned out. Was there a different mindset knowing, because at the beginning of the season, we all knew that you were on the team and everything, but then at the end of the season, it seemed like you were one of the big dudes on this team. What changed in the middle of the season, you can say, to make you, a leader, you can really say?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's mostly just my confidence went up exponentially. Like, I just felt like I could hang with those guys. And when you have confidence, there's nothing you really can't do. So, Coach Martin believed in me. He did a lot for me on and off the court. And as we grew as a team, I guess my personal performances just kind of got better and better. So I'm super thankful for last year, and hopefully I can replicate that next time I'm on the court.
Jackson, you got anything?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, right, so I know you watch the NBA, you have to.
Yeah.
Who do you model your game after? Who do you idolize? Who do you want to be like? Or do you want to be, I know you want to be your own player, but what do you see in other players?
Like you said, I want to be my own player, but there's so many great players out there that I look towards and try to model my game after, at least in some aspects. So, for example, like Kevin Love's inside-out game, he can shoot it, but also he's able to punish guys down low if they switch on him. Obviously, I'm not as good as he is yet, but hopefully I can get to my game to that level someday. Nikola Jokic, the Joker out here in Denver, I've gotten to watch him a ton just being out here, and he's honestly amazing. Like, some people say I'm not very athletic, but I feel like I'm more athletic than him, but he's still killing it. So just to see how he's able to do that, how he's able to use his body, and just the level of skill. I think he's the best skilled big man in the league. So if I can get my game to that level, that'd be awesome. But for now, I'm just gonna look at his game and hope I can at least replicate it to some degree.
With your injury, people were saying maybe he doesn't have like good like his injury, maybe he just gets injured a lot. What do you have to say to those people that say he might not be good in the NBA because he's going to get injured and injured again?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that a ton. You see people on Twitter all the time adding you with negative stuff like that. But for me, I can't really control whether or not I get injured. Obviously, you can stretch more, you can strengthen your legs, everything like that. But if it happens, it happens. All I can do now is bounce back as strongly as I can. I feel like I've done that so far. So, yeah, this sucks that I hurt my knee. But I feel like I'm gonna come back stronger and better than ever. Like I had knee pain before, that's all gone. So I think in the long run, I mean, yeah, it sucks right now. I didn't get to play this year. Obviously, that'd be so fun to be able to be out there on the court with him right now. But I think in the long run, it'll be a good thing that this happened for me.
All right. Last year, you did attend the combine, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, talking to NBA guys, I'm sure there were some GMs and scouts there. What can you publicly, or what did they say to you? What were some of the things they were telling you about maybe your draft position or your game?
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool at the combine. There's a whole day dedicated to just talking to teams. So you have a schedule where you go in there, talk for 30 minutes, and you go to the next hotel room with the other team and talk for 30 minutes. It's just like that for hours. So honestly, they really just ask you questions and try to get to know you as a player, like off the court, because they know what you can do on the court. But they just ask me questions like what I like to do off the court, family stuff, who I like to surround myself with. They ask a lot of off the wall questions too, like how many deflated basketballs do you could fit in this room. So just stuff like that you don't know how to answer, but I guess there's a point to it. But they don't really tell you much about draft position. Obviously, you know what position they're drafting when you go into there. For example, like say the 76ers had the first pick or whatever. When you go into that room, you know they're looking at you for that first pick. So they don't really have to tell you that. It's kind of just a given, but it really comes down to that interview, and then they have you out for a workout later after the combine, and then based off those two things, they decide if you are the player they want to draft. So it's a really cool process, and I was super excited to go through it last year.
All right, so whether you stay this year at Mizzou or not, not asking that. This year is a very loaded class. What do you have to say that you might have a better edge on those players that maybe some that they don't have?
Say that again.
What do you think you have an edge on that some of the players in this draft class, if not asking if you're going,
yeah.
what do you think you have
What
a
I
better
have
edge
over
on?
them?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean there are a ton of talented players in this draft class. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the draft class. But I think for me, it's mostly just my IQ. I think I'm one of the smartest players, not only in college, but I think I could be one of the smartest players in the NBA. And I think that's really important for me because obviously I'm not as athletic as some of the Zion Williamsons of the world. So I'm not high flyer like them, but I know what I can do. And I think I can do that pretty well. So I think just being a smart, strong big man who can really lead, anchor an offense, and be good on defense is something that not many players in this draft class can claim to do.
Jackson, you have anything else?
No, I think I've got everything out of the way I wanted to ask.
All right. Jontay, we really appreciate it. It's going to wrap up this KC3 Takes interview with Jontay Porter. We really do appreciate it again. Thank you, Jontay. Other than that, make sure to like the button, subscribe to this channel, and come back for Tuesdays and Saturdays when we have a regular podcast. See you guys later.